prior to every single live stream to make sure that everything is functioning. So I'm not sure if I'm still feeling under the weather or what it is, but literally nothing is working. How do you like this, guys? This is right off of my iMac. You got to do whatever you have to do, right? So I'm very happy that you guys can hear me. Gabe, you should join a family coming community. That is correct. And because I can, the funny thing is, I can't even, my Wi Fi doesn't even work. I don't know how I'm live streaming. So if you guys can bear with me really quickly before we start, don't worry. I will make this pretty in a recap sometime soon. But I wanted to make sure that I can see myself on my phone here live streaming. So I know that the stream is working. Okay. Yeah, I have no audio and no Wi-Fi. Gabe, you should join a family coming community. Weird. That is correct. Hang on, guys. And because I can, the funny thing is, I can't even, my Wi-Fi doesn't even work. I'm listening to my own audio on my mobile and it's still, so if you guys can bear with me really quickly before we start. There's absolutely no sound. I will make this pretty in a recap. as long as you guys can hear me, that's all that matters. Thank you for coming back, Elizabeth. I really love and appreciate members who landed job offers and continue coming back to support the entire community. Love, love, love. Hello, Nee. Thank you for being here. I was just mentioning how I have no audio and no Wi-Fi, and I'm not sure how I'm even live streaming right now. But if we're meeting for the very first time, my name is Holly Lee. I'm a leadership career coach. My plan is to really help you having a clear vision in your branding before you know how to create storytelling, and also the way you deliver your communication and message into landing your dream job with your top companies of choice. I focus a lot of my effort on top tech companies, although 99.9999% of you guys are all interviewing at Amazon. Okay, I'm all good, because if you listen very carefully with the type of coaching I'm giving you, interview tip, loop tip, the process and everything, listen very carefully, because it's very similar across all of the big tech companies. It's very similar. Even though they don't have what is called Amazon leadership principle, they have their own philosophy, and guess what? It's really similar to the LP. They just don't have 16 leadership principle. But normally company has about 4, anywhere between, I want to say 3 to 6 or so. I can't remember because it's been so long since I last worked at Google, and even 2.5 years ago when I was at Facebook. I think they have 4 LP. I'm sorry, not LP. I'm thinking too much Amazonian right now. About 4-ish or so. One of them is customer centric, moving fast. Does that sound familiar? Bias for action, moving fast. Same thing, right? So with that in mind, I would love to answer some Q&A today. If you're watching right now, you're really shy, all you have to do is click the join button to become a paid YouTube member. What does that mean? That means that you can leave your comment in a live chat. And also, I do review your LinkedIn profile as well as your stories on the Friday session. I can't do it for both sessions because that would interfere with a lot of the Q&A. Okay, so I'm working on scaling and structuring my community, which is you guys. And my goal for 2021 was to build a thoughtful community, not just come by, fly by. I call them acquaintance. Fly by, ask your questions, and leave. Hey, if that is you, all to it. I respect you for coming by, saying hello to us, and supporting my work. But thoughtfully, I really want folks who land a job offer to come back in here and motivate you guys. I know, because I read all of your comments on YouTube right inside my video. I got hundreds and hundreds of LinkedIn messages almost every single day. So I apologize for all of you that I'm very short, and I know that my virtual assistant team and I sync on a weekly basis. A lot of you, even if you're waiting to join my premium VIP coaching services, you're asking me, can you, give me a quick questions here and there. I personally can't. As mentioned, there's a lot of you out there, and that's why these live streams are for. And guys, let's be real here. $3.99 or $10 a month is not going to break a bank. I know that not everyone can afford to hire a coach. Every single part of my products and services is considering and thinking about the pandemic. In fact, when the pandemic hit in 2020, for the first 6 months, you know who you guys are. Majority of you are at Google, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, PayPal, KPMG, Dell, you name it. There's a lot of tech companies and they're practically free. I wish my yay button is working right now because nothing is functioning technically for me. So it is about time for me to come up a little bit because operating a YouTube channel and my coaching services is a full-time job that I absolutely love because I get to help people into helping you identifying what you really love more of doing, not just getting a job, but that's an important part. I don't consider myself an interview coach because I'm more of a honestly, I don't know what's the difference between life coach, career coach, interview. I don't know what those fancy names are. I just know that I'm trying to help you to identify of not getting into the wrong environment like you are now. Even if you have been affected by the pandemic, don't worry because 50% of my customers are. The other 50 isn't, but a lot of people still are. A lot of people, if you follow me for a while, you hear me talked about the Amazonians, the Google, the Facebook. I literally was on the phone with my buddies and they all want to quit the job with nothing lined up. The common things that I'm hearing in the market is, I just can't see myself commuting to work anymore. I just I don't want to be in meetings anymore because I don't feel like I'm adding value. I don't feel like they're adding value to me. I really want to spend more time with my kids. I really just want to be at home, be able to do what I do. And many of them are coming to me. And these are former colleagues and people I know, even stakeholders. I have a lot of ex hiring managers within the FAANG company who just up and left their job, right? Because they finally, I think, if anything, the pandemic has taught all of us to really hone in on what we love to do and want more of. And that's exactly what I did. Well, I wasn't all that smart, to be honest. I quit and left my job way before the pandemic in 2019. I think was it mid? Mid 2019, I left my job at Facebook and I talk about it really briefly. I didn't really dive deep into it, but I will make a video to talk about focusing on having a clear vision and why people quit their job. I'm not convincing you to quit your job. Don't do what I just did. I just did it because my time was up and I can feel it. That is because I've been in the industry for over 20 years. It's time for me to do what I love to do most, which is coaching, which I had self doubt. I didn't know if I would be good at it. I don't even know if I would love it, but I quickly end up falling in love with it because of YouTube. Eat, sleep, YouTube. Seriously, guys, I didn't realize how much I love coaching. I call members, my clients in my VIP coaching, because from the moment when you see professionals getting so lost and so stuck, and within a short period of time, short period meaning like literally the same day or within less than a week, you see them transform and coming back to you and saying, "Oh my God, Holly, I have Amazon and Google and Facebook and Microsoft reach out to me for job interviewed. I never thought that I was ever good enough for them to consider." Of course you are. We all are. Okay. We all are. So don't think that you can't get those jobs because of that. The one thing that I've been seeing a lot, and I've been a coach for 2 years now, and I've learned everything that I'm preaching to you, not because I have a recruiting experience and I was a hiring manager for these FAANG company, is because of my experience working with you guys, the customers who come to me where we spend so much time in peeling onions and figuring out where's your pain point. What are you doing wrong? What have you been doing your entire career or your entire life? And how do we transform that into the right environment? So that is what I call VIP coaching, not an online course, by the way. This is not a course. Although I have digital product, but that's what I mean. Okay. So I'm responding this because I don't have the capacity. So is my virtual assistant team to respond to the messages because at the end of the day, what you're struggling is right now, I guarantee you guys, you all have the same challenges, which is, Holly, I'm really lost right now. I have an Amazon interviewed coming up and I don't know if my stories are good enough. I'm really lost. Should I follow up with my recruiters? I haven't heard back from my offers. That's a good problem to have, by the way. Or the other 50%, Holly, I failed my interview 4 times. I don't know why. Well, stop interviewing if you bomb your interview 4 times, right? Can you please say hallelujah if I'm making sense to you right now? Or give me a thumbs up emoji in the chat. So stop. Guys, we're all human here and we all know what the right answer is, what the right thing to do is, but you all are not listening to yourself. If you guys are not willing to listen to yourself, you're not going to listen to me, okay? Um, because I am literally giving you a taste of how I am in a coaching setting. I This is just really how raw and authentic I am. I know that I'm not a cup of tea for a lot of people, even my YouTube audience. But if you are a paid YouTube community member, I know I'm a cup of tea for you and you keep on coming back for it. All right. So that is the top 10-minute prep talk I have to give you guys. I'm telling you this right now. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of hard work. I have declined so many private coaching because based on your message to me on LinkedIn, I know if you're going to do the work or you're not. It's very simple for me to read in between the line because even the last 2 years being an entrepreneur coach, I've had hundreds of people that I personally have coached and helped land in those big companies. So I know what it takes and I know the type of common issues. I call them issues, or I probably shouldn't say that. Challenges that you have. You could be an entry level, a new grad, or a VP or C suite executive. It's all the same thing because you're struggling in delivering your message. Answer. You're struggling in delivering, take a step back because you don't know how to articulate your stories and you don't even remember what you have done. Take another step back, okay? You don't even have the right brand. If I ask you guys right now, and this is exactly what I'll be making my VIP coaching do tomorrow in our office hour, that is, I want them to tell me, and you guys, please feel free to play the game if you like. If you were to tell me 3 things to represent your brand, what would that be? Just 3 things. For me, immediately the things that came to mind is being too customer obsessive, where I don't have a balance because I care too much. And I've been told from my team, from my previous business partner, from my own coach, even that I'm doing too much for my customer, but I can't help it. That's just who I am. And that's also an ultimate weakness of mine. The second thing is I don't focus on, getting a high volume of people. I'm focusing on small amount of people at a time so I can dedicate attention, hence why I'm very obsessive, so that I can get you the result. Result driven is another thing that stood up. It's not because I'm a coach. I've always been this way my entire life. And the third thing is just knowing when to quit. Knowing when to quit. I mean, quitting my full-time job took a long time. Actually, I wanted to do that 10 years ago. I did. I tried having my own business when I was laid off. Actually, it's a lot more than 10 years ago. That was a 2009 recession that I was laid off from Microsoft. And I had my own coaching business. I was just so overwhelmed. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I was good enough. Like everything that you guys are feeling right now, I've been there. So I stopped, I quit, and I went back to corporate. I pick up a gig and I work for Google, which is amazing. But now I'm trying to coach you and I'm trying to walk the talk and not just give you things just because I woke up one day and want to be a career coach. Okay. I wanted to share a little bit more about my background so you all would start taking me seriously and listen to everything I'm preaching to you because it has worked for over 3,500 people right off of my free YouTube content. That is correct. Okay. Alrighty. Odo, you came back into my life. Odo. Ooh, this is huge. Sorry, guys. And I don't know how to fix this because this is on my iMac. Oh no. Thank you so much for the super chat. It's really bugging me. You guys know that I don't like things that I can't fix. How do you fix this, guys? Please bear with me. Okay, unlock. Okay, I should probably unlock this, right? Okay, this is really bugging me. I promise this will be over soon. Just give me just bear with me. You know what? I'm just going to get rid of that because oh no, guys. Okay, maybe that's a little bit better. Guys, I'm having issue because I've made some changes and when everything fall apart, I'm literally talking to myself and thank you. There you go. I'm very, very anal, as you can see. I like things to be perfect. Don't do that, okay? Perfection is not a thing when it comes to interviewing. So please do not follow my footstep. It is not a good thing to have. Don't be perfect. Do the best that you can. You just want to be prepared. Okay. Um, do I? Oh, it does work. So my little icon does work. Let me just put that here. So those who are watching know that this is a live. Okay, and let me move myself up just a little tiny bit. There you go. Odo, thank you so much for coming in here, Mr. Amazonian. Guys, listen to Holly is truly authentic. Work hard and follow her advice. Well, you're welcome, my friend. Thank you so much. It means the world to me when you guys come back to support us. Okay? And single. Ah, there you go. It's back. There you go. That's much better. Thank you for putting up with me. Thank you. Thank you. Alrighty then. I'm very excited. UK Lovebirds. Welcome, UK Lovebirds. Welcome to the community. You guys notice that my cough is slowly going away? It's amazing. Nawal, hello, Nawal. Good to see you again. V, hello, V. You guys and all your nicknames. Gabe, Holly, and everyone else. I had an interview last Wednesday and got the offer call on Friday. Where's my yay button? Where's my yay button? Yay! Woohoo! Alrighty. Just waiting on the background check. Thank you, Holly, for your video. You welcome, Gabe. I remember you very, very well. One biggest tip for you guys, okay? I'm looking down because this light is bugging me. It's too dark. When you're interviewing, by the way, your virtual loop, or whatnot, it's hard. You see that? You have to really, oh my goodness. Which is why I don't like the camera on laptop or iMac, however you guys want to call it, because you can't really adjust things the way you would like it. I'm just going to leave it alone before anything else break. Make sure that you don't give your 2 weeks notice until the background check is clear. I've had multiple people in my VIP coaching that have made that mistake, where both of them, by the way, Amazon had taken the offer back. Basically, congratulations, you receive a verbal offer, and they're working on getting the offer approved. And oops, we decided to move forward with an internal candidate or a different candidate, and now they have to wait for a different rec to be opened, because you cannot extend an offer to someone without an open rec. Open rec meaning open position, right? So again, do not give your 2 weeks notice and get excited, overly excited because Amazon or Google, whomever gave you an offer, until you see the physical offer on your hand like this, okay? And your background is clear. Congratulations, Gabe. Thank you. Gabe, can you remind me of this conversation? Reach out to me via LinkedIn so I can invite you to my private Facebook group for all of those who resulted in job offer whom I was able to help. Hello, Nicholas. Joey Star. Yes, Joey Star. SJ, I made it. I got an L6 offer. Yay! Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Every single week in average, there's about 10 people who result in job offer. I am not kidding you guys. That's why if you do the math, and I know this because I personally read through every single one of my YouTube comment, and there's a lot of comments right inside the video of job offers. Between that and my VIP coaching and also my LinkedIn messages, there's at least bare minimum 10 job offers specifically at Amazon. I mean, you guys just come to me for Amazon. I do and everything else, by the way. I'm not just an Amazon coach, but everyone's coming to me for Amazon. Happy for you, though. Okay. By the way, about Amazon, I don't know if a lot of you guys are here for the last session. I'm actually going to be participating in the AWS Women in Tech event that would be hosted in Mumbai, India, this year on the 24th of September. If we're not connected on LinkedIn, make sure we are, because I talked about this. That's my LinkedIn. Let me go ahead and remove this branding here. If we have not connected on LinkedIn, make sure we're connected on LinkedIn, because I will send out a calendar invite so you can just add it into your LinkedIn reminder tab. Okay. But in theory, this is the link to the Woman in Tech. So make sure you sign up. You don't have to be a woman, you can be a man. All right. It's just tips and strategies that I'm going a little bit deeper. It's a 30-minute presentations to help you be interview ready step by step, verbally giving it to you. Okay. All righty. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome V to the career tier. The only difference between the different tier is prioritizations, and also it helps me stay on track, and I can tell by the emoji that I've created for you with the different tiers. Okay. Eventually I will do something special for the leadership tiers. I just haven't had a moment to do that, so because I've been really busy keeping up to live stream. My effort is in coaching. Seriously, guys, 4 days a week I do nothing but coaching, and that's all I wanted to do. Between coaching my VIP cohort, office hour on Monday and Wednesday, and my YouTube streaming on Tuesdays and Friday. I have to think for a second. You see that? Why don't I just press a button? Tuesdays and Friday, 2 different times. Okay. So you have plenty of opportunity for me to help you. Hello, RS. If you're new to my channel, please do mention new in the live chat and let me know where you're watching from, what type of questions you have. Put a giant Q in front of it so I know is a question, and be very specific. Okay. I'm trying to train you to be the Amazonian that you want to be. Very specific questions leading very specific answer from me. Jose, yes, we can hear you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Satya, hello, Satya. Good to see you again. Joey says, evening all, just back from a week of vacation last week. Back to interview prep again. Yay! When I hear the word interview prep, it just gets me really exciting. Okay. Really, really exciting. I have one of my VIP member, and we had the 3-day weekend, and I decided to keep my office hour because it's on a Monday, right? And he said, Holly, I want you to know that while my family and friends are out having dinner parties and whatnot, I stayed behind and stay home by myself. And he showed me a booklet where he handwritten all of the star stories. What am I saying? No, I didn't give him the star story. I gave my VIP coaching cohort my questions template. I have a spreadsheet for them. All they have to do is fill in the blanks, right? So he showed me everything he's done. Not only recorded himself via Zoom, but he wrote everything down. Um, and if you guys want to see what that looks like, you're really prepared, you really want the job. And I keep on telling my customers, when you show up for an interview and when you're practicing and recording yourself, that tone, it needs to sound like you've got ownership in your tone. Okay. You don't need to have all the experiences, guys. I don't have any experiences when I became a career coach. I don't code. Well, I lied. I've been a manager for about 8 years, 10 years or so in the recruiting industry. But coaching someone that is already internally and coaching someone who are like from a Boeing background, for example, a manufacturing, consultancy background, AT&T, basically company that has nothing to do with tech, that's a whole new level of coaching. Practice does make perfect, but you gotta work really hard. I'm gonna repeat myself about 50 times throughout this entire live stream because there is a small amount of people who came to me. Even my YouTube paid community, yes, I'm talking about some of you, you know who you are, where when I read through your LinkedIn messages, it says, Holly, I'm your paid YouTube community member. Can you please review all of my stories for me? I can't do that. You have to understand, I don't do things just to do things. I put a lot of thought into it. And when I review your story, those of you who have had experience with me, on the Friday section, you know that I literally read word by word and I will give you feedback word by word. That's how anal I am. That's just who I am. Okay. And I like to live up to my standard because I'm so focused on delivering the results and giving you feedback and why I'm chopping off your stories or giving you the feedback the way that I do. So, with that in mind, when you're landed on my YouTube channel, you're showing up to my live session like this, or you're in any of my coaching program, that's exactly what you're getting. I know that this style may not work with a lot of the people, but let's be honest here. If you want to work for companies like Amazon, this is very mild. I'm toning it down 90% of a notch for you right now. Okay. You want to work for Google? I hear some of you, a lot of you guys want to work for Google. Guess what? No one's going to hold your hand and tell you how to do things at Google, at Facebook, Apple. No, no one's going to hold your hand for any of that. Okay. No one's going to give you all these resources where all you have to do is click on a playlist for your onboarding. No, they don't. In fact, I have seen a lot of onboarding meaning new hire orientation package that your future manager gives you. It's very general, very, very vague. When I create my onboarding package, again, I've always been the same, having the same mindset in over delivering to either you're reporting to me or you're my customer or my member to the T's. That way you're not getting lost, you're not wasting time. Okay. So if you want to work for those top companies, you have to be really good in the way you think creatively outside of the box, and you need to be on your feet at all time. So don't send me a message on LinkedIn asking for a quick tip when you know that you are my member and you can't wait for the live session. That's what the VIP coaching is for. Okay? Alrighty. Bear in the Conquer. How are you, Bear? Bear, have you started your new job yet? Elizabeth. There's a lot of ladies in the house. I know you, some of you, your fancy name, with your male fancy name. I know who you are. You know who you are. Anna, hello, Anna. How are you? I'm doing well. Thank you for being here. Tatiana, wow, it's literally like all ladies. All righty then. I was actually thinking about starting a second YouTube channel for just women. I don't know what to call it. That's why I haven't started a new channel. You guys can see starting a YouTube channel requires a lot of work. It's not just let me create a channel and live stream and then get viewers, right? It took me about a year to earn trust with you guys and have that influential content where people would actually benefit from and then tell their friends about it. I am very, very excited to announce that now AWS recruiters actually put my YouTube channel in their phone screen interview prepped. So I'm really happy and very stoked about that. Maybe it's time that I create a second channel focusing on diversity because I feel like let me explain why. Because as my customer, 90% of them are diversity. Diversity with 5 different categories. I'm not just talking about women, but basically you're not born and raised in the US. Even if you are, you're over the age of 40, right? 40, 50s, even 60s. Yes, those are also Amazonians. Indeed, I've helped those as well. And I have the most fun. I guess I'm easily bored. I don't want to go where everyone is going. I want, I want to help people who are truly struggling and really need someone like me. Because if not, I'm not going to have a good time coaching you. All right. Erin, hello, Erin. What accommodation can I ask for ADHD when interviewing at Amazon? Well, I can't really answer that because I'm not in HR. Recruiting is not HR. I hope you guys realize that. But that is an excellent question. In the interview process in the very beginning, I would mention that to your recruiter. So your recruiter would inform the hiring managers and HR. I'm pretty sure they do have something in place. Okay. I'm making that comment because I've had candidates who all kinds of things um, that needs help. For example, ones that can't really hear, they actually have a device. I didn't even know that. A device to help them hear or help them see better or touch or however that is. I've had those during my time at Amazon. Okay. So make sure you're being very upfront with the recruiter right away. And I'm pretty sure they can accommodate you. Other company as well. Diego. Hello, Diego. Your first time here. Well, welcome, Diego. Let me know if you have questions for me and be very specific in your question. Anna says, Nawal, make sure that your stories are all deep enough to carve different LPs from them. Oh, I like this. Let me just drag this in here. And of course, all in the STAR method, and that each of your story make you honestly very proud to share. Yay! Yay! Everyone, please clap. Thank you. Thank you so much, Anna, for saying that. If your story is good, guys, it will hit the LP at least 80% of the time. Okay? You just need your story exactly what Anna or Anna had just mentioned. It needs to really highlight how you are helping and benefiting the customer, either internal or external. What is your business impact and what exactly are you solving for? Those of you who's been around me for a while or have seen some, or if not most of my content, know that I am huge on very specific example on every single thing that you do, because my goal is to train you and mold you with that mindset before you go into interview with any employers. Okay? Alrighty then. Oh, when I mention everything, when I mention everything needs to come with a specific example, here's why, guys. You're really saving the interviewer's time. Okay? I don't know what to call it. I may call it some other method, but I just call it the STAR method because I don't know. I can't be creative when it comes to that regard. And I think I need to rebrand myself a little bit, because the way how I teach the STAR method is not the generalizing way where you can speak for 5 minutes, 15 minutes, you are so long winded. The way how I'm grooming you guys is to speak with your answer in less than 1 minute. Hence, the very first horrific video that I've done 2 years ago when I started my YouTube journey. It's called the 60-second elevator pitch. Okay. I talk about how a human attention span is 10 seconds. If you can do it in 45 seconds, that would be perfect and ideal. Okay. Everyone tells me I'm full of it. All of you guys tell me I'm full of it. I have like this. I have debate with a lot of my community member. I have debate with a lot of people. We have shout outs in my VIP coaching office hour. Okay. But guess what? All of those folks who disagree with me end up agreeing with me from the moment they start practicing mock interview with me, in the weekly office hour, and they can hear it and they can see it, right? Within 15-second, 30-second max, you will lose your audience right away. 30-second is a long time for you to speak, okay? You're talking about 5 sentences there. You shouldn't take 10 sentences to answer the entire interview questions. You should not, because that's a lot of words. Yeah? If you agree what I just said, just put yes, I agree with Holly in the live chat. Okay? Having your story is one thing. The way you articulate and deliver your message is a whole different ballgame. Anna, just deep into Holly's playlist and study with intent. Yes, intent is a keyword, Anna. You are so good. Anna, I would love to have you on my show when I decided to. I'm actually having a playlist that is called just interview prepped. I don't know what it's called yet, but it's going to call something like that. Where if you haven't interviewed, I'm trying to motivate others, and I'm looking for diversity, meaning those who didn't believe that they could ever get a job at Amazon, especially women. Who are really struggling to land an offer, land the right offer. So we'll talk about not just landing a job, salary, so on and so forth. Okay. So I would love to interview someone like you because it's telling me just by the type of content that you're putting for the community. I know that you have really drove deep into a lot of my work, and I appreciate you just coming in here and sharing your thoughts with the community. Salt and Nuts. Hello, Salt and Nuts. I found your YouTube channel last week and I've been practicing the STAR method. I have an interview tomorrow with Amazon for an account manager role. God, AWS is hiring like crazy for AM. I have 3 of those in my cohort right now. Any additional advice? Well, I don't have an additional advice. I need to see and hear what you have done to prep. Okay? You need to have at the bare minimum 20 plus stories to go into any interview, even startup. Here's why. Because if you don't have at least bare minimum 20 story, you will run out of answers and you will repeat yourself, you will fumble, and you won't make it through the whole loop. Okay? Once you have done that, if you are interested, come back on the Friday session. I would love to help you review your stories. At least one or a couple so that you know what it takes and what is the next step for you to make them perfect. Then you can practice on articulating your delivery on your own, right? Salt and nuts. I almost want to say salt and pepper. Constant Price. Hello, hello, Constant Price. Yes, good luck, Nawal. Good luck. Quite a few of you guys are interviewing. Bear in that Bear. I kind of miss Bear in the Wild. I love Bear the Conqueror, but Bear in the Wild. I've been with that name for so long. Um, it's different, but yes, for those of you who landed a job, you should put Bear in the Wild was it was Bear in the Wild for the longest time. And when she accepted a position, she changed it to Bear in the Conquered. It's just like Elizabeth, it should say Elizabeth Conquer. Anna, you have really good tips. Thank you for sharing. Let me make this a little bigger. Elizabeth and Anna. I think 80% of your effort should be on improving your stories and the rest on exercising. Yes, I agree with you. You have to have the story before you exercise, right? Working on your communication is easier when your content is good. If you don't have the content, if you got no content, you can't deliver, right? Does that make sense? Imagine yourself building a product and services. You're an engineer, TPM, in a technical role. You cannot build a product or services when your code is wrong. That's why you got to make sure that everything is there. You need to QA test to make sure everything is functioning, the automation works, and then you can practice on scaling it, right? So preparing for your interview, there's no difference in that. You have to put all your effort into it, all of your effort. And if you have interviewed or you have failed interviewed, you really want to attend the Women in Tech event because there's a lot of other speakers as well. My focus is just interview prepped, but there's other one that I feel that you guys can benefit from. In I think there's a talk that seemed pretty interesting. I can't remember her name. All the speakers are women, by the way, hence Women in Tech. It was about how to transition into the workplace when you haven't worked in a while. Okay, that's also a really cool topic for you. And for those who are interviewing and you may have a job offer already or will be, knock on wood, right? By the time September 24th come around, the day of the Women in Tech event, that's also excellent for you to watch so you can learn about how you can be successful inside Amazon because 90% of the speakers are Amazonians. Constant Price says, hallelujah. Thank you. Wow, Elizabeth, here's a tip from an Amazonian. I spend weeks up to until 2 a.m. after working and momming to study and prepare for my interview. How bad do you want it? Thank you. Thank you, Elizabeth. Because I go to bed easily at 3 a.m. 5 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, which is why when I talked about earlier in the very beginning of the live stream, I talked about how do you brand yourself if you can highlight three things. The first thing I said was being extremely customer obsession to the point where I have no boundaries and balance. And that's something that I'm still trying to work on. Okay. Because I care so much about helping people resulting in where they are. Maybe the pandemic has a lot to do with it. And there's a lot of parents who's coming to me, men or women. There's a lot of single parents, and for those, I feel like I would fail if they don't get a job at where they want to be, which is Amazon in this case. Okay, you have to really put in the hard work. I'm not good with excuses, guys. I'm not good with any kind of excuses. You will be preaching to the wrong person. The wrong person. Okay. Remember, you're talking to someone who also homeschool. My son at the time was 2 years old when I taught him how to potty train while operating a brand new business when the pandemic hit for 10 months. And I'm really surprised that my YouTube channel has viewer, because for the first 6 months I was talking to the wall and talking to myself. There's no one showing up as well. So it took me a really long time to get to where I am today, but I never stopped live streaming, not once, not a single week. For those who can't see my live stream, that is because it is pay member only, and I move a lot of those content there. That's also meaning that there's a lot of confidential information, or if I'm reviewing someone's resume, I don't want their name to show to the public, so I'm moving it to member only. That is why. Okay, so it requires a serious amount of consistency, because you got to be able to tell yourself it's not just how badly do you want it, why do you want it? Why do you want it? Okay, what are you willing to do for it? And if you are unable to answer those two questions, then you obviously don't want it bad enough. Alrighty. Diego, what do you mean by exercise? I think she meant practice. Practice. Practice recording yourself. Diego. Joey says, you said, is it easier to get a higher level IC role in FAANG company after getting large scale and global experience from a small mid-level company? Is it the same for manager role as well? That is an excellent question, Joey Star. Okay, there's two questions here. The first question is it easier to get a higher level IC role in FAANG company after you getting large scale and scope experience small mid-level company? Let me answer that question first. Um, it is yes and no. Yes, meaning that you have to have the right amount of large scale global experiences where you're able to deliver and be able to affect a lot of the viewers. I'm sorry, viewer, what am I saying? Global footprints and how you're able to scale, build, scale, and launch. Okay. The definition of that in a startup, for example, in an Amazon environment, you may think what you're doing is super large scale because you help the company generate $1 million. At Amazon, let me give you an example. Even when I started my career as a level 6 at Amazon, the Amazon B2B that I have built from scratch, literally 25 employee as a startup, 14 company, by the way, mold into one. That is now a $2.1 billion business. You see where I'm going? That's an example of scale and scope at a global level. Okay. So in a startup, if you're building something and you want to meet the level, so the reason why I said is yes and no. That's the yes part. And the no part is your definition of large scale and scope may not be the same definition of like an Amazon, okay? Because Amazon scope and scale at comparison to Microsoft, Google, even Tesla and Apple, it's not the same. It's not speaking the same language because Amazon's bar is the highest when it comes to scale and scope because they expect you to be a superhero. Everything in the job description, you're going to do 100% on top of maybe 3 different roles. Amazon is a company where you roll up your sleeve, you figure everything out to support you and your product and your services and your launch. Because I keep in touch with every single person that I have helped land a job at Amazon and these FAANG companies in my private Facebook group. And a lot of them share successes within 90 days. They're not just start being evaluated to do your job. In 90 days, that's when you built a warehouse. Are you guys understanding what I just said? You built, you plan. I'm sorry, let me take a step back. You write the specification, you build, you plan, and you launch in 3 months. That's Amazon. Okay? Hence why I create a whole playlist called Onboarding at Amazon for you so you can kind of understand what I meant by the culture. The culture may not work for everybody. It works for me because I'm easily bored. I like to be mentally intrigued and challenged. I don't need someone to hold my hand. If someone had to hold my hand, I'm just going to fall asleep. I just don't operate that way. So if you're someone who's highly ambitious, like Elizabeth, you mentioned that you were up until 2 a.m. Yes, that's very, very Amazonian, but I'm telling you this right now, you cannot last if you if you operate that way. You need to learn work-life balance. And eventually I am hoping that you're able to adapt that in your new environment at Amazon in your day one. Okay. You need to do that. You need to start that in the very beginning. If not, you will end up like me, where you're with the company for 6, 7 years and you're working many hours, and there's a lot of weekends that I'm also working. There's a lot of dates that I went on where I have to say, I'm really sorry, honey. I have to pick up this call because I have to close a deal with this candidate, which is closing an offer with someone like you. And because I know you're excited and because I'm so customer obsessed, yeah, I'm that girl that would put my date on hold. No wonder that relationship didn't last very long. I care so much about my work and I'm very obsessed. So if I have to give you guys any more coaching on how you can get a higher level with Amazon and FAANG company, it's not about just getting the skill. You don't know what the right skills are, because if you compare FAANG and FAANG, it's not the same language, okay? But all the FAANG have one thing in common. They don't care for you to come to from a brand name company. And and I disagree with you with getting experience from small, mid-sized company, because I've helped so many people from consulting companies, startup that are now with the FANGs. You don't need to. Why can't you gain those experience where you are right now? Okay? And if you don't have those experience right now, why not look at your credential and see what other fit? Maybe I'm just making this up because I can't remember your background, Joey Star. If you are a technical program manager, don't go for a TPM because the tech bar is very high at Amazon. Go for a PM, which is non-tech. Get your foot in the door within a year or two, get promoted to TPM. If your passion is in the technical space, doing more of the tech stuff and less of the program management day-to-day functionality. Does that make sense? If that makes sense to you guys, I'm just giving you a prep talk on career transition and how you can transition different role so you don't feel like you're stuck. You don't feel like just because you didn't get the job, you have to go gain some experience. Or, no, you don't need all of that. What you need is be good to yourself and knowing what your brand calls for. What do you want to do next? And be very, very clear about that. Okay? Alrighty. Anchor. I have a phone screen, AWS, so solution architect tomorrow. Good luck to you. Can we talk? What do you mean, can we talk? We are talking right now, Anchor. What question do you have for me, Anchor? I don't do consultation call if that's what you're talking about, because everyone, as you guys can hear, come to me for the same issue. They have an interview at Amazon. They don't know how to prepare, or they have already failed the interview, and I already know exactly what the issues are because of your delivery. If your delivery is not strong enough, they may think you don't have the right experiences for them. So we need to fix that. We need to fix that. The reason why I said we need to fix that is because I haven't met and worked with a single person where I don't need to fix their entire background and also kind of remind them nicely what they have all done. And we're not talking about people from startup or don't have enough experience. I'm referring to leadership folks from VMware, from SAP, from PayPal, you name it, Microsoft, Amazon even. Yes, Amazon even, right? Which I know that they can get, if you're an Amazonian and you've been there for 10 plus years, 18 years, true story, I know you can get a job anywhere you want. And the reason why those folks didn't make it through is because they have been in the same job for so long and they forget how to interview. Okay? That's why everybody needs coaching. And that's why I don't jump on a call for consultation, because as you can hear, everyone is having the same challenge. Okay? Najid, hello, Najid. I remember you. Najid says, congratulations for your first day at Amazon. Could you please tell us a bit more about your experience with technical question? Najid, you have to be very specific, my friend. What type of technical questions are you referring to? What type? What are you interviewing for? So I can tell you what the technical questions are, okay? Without knowing anything about that, technical question, the reason why I don't recommend you guys to take a course and then go pass an interview at Amazon is because Amazon will call you bluff. You can't just memorize how to code or design something when you've never done it before, because the interview question is asking you to do so. And if you've never done it, you won't make it through. Okay. So if you look at the job description on preferred qualification, I literally talk about this last week. So if you take a look at last week's video, I'm not sure if I have the timestamp on there yet. I think I did. If I haven't, I will do that later on today. So I talked about knowing the type of tech questions, and everything is free on YouTube. Find a creator that come from an engineering background, and basically someone that come from like a current Amazon, ex Amazon, basically company that written a large amount of code. If you're an engineer or if you're a solution architect, coming from those environment where they have built and influenced millions and billions of users, those are who you want to learn from. Okay, I'm not talking about looking at a professor to teach you how to do it. Okay. I hope that makes sense to you guys. When you are watching and learning, you have to make sure that you find creators or coaches, however you want to call us, that come from those environments so we can share that piece of expertise with you. Because if not, everyone is pretty much repeating each other. Okay. All right. Ankur, please do not repeat your question. You are spamming the community, Ankur. Okay. If you have urgency, you have to be very specific. Let me know what your questions are. Okay. Please do not do that. Stop spamming. I can't even see. Give me a second, guys. I want to see if I'm able to open. I don't know what it is. Is it the browser problem or what problem it is when oh, you know what? I think my web page is finally working. Hang on. And if you guys don't stop spamming, I will have to remove you from the community, okay? I'm not being rude. I just wanted to make sure that I'm able to answer the community as appropriate as possible. Yes, it looks like it is working. Hang on a second, guys. Please bear with me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm doing this because I want to have control of the stream and I need to see. This is so weird, guys. It's not coming up. My browser is completely dead. Maybe it's a Chrome thing. Can someone let me know if Chrome is working for you? Because Chrome is not working for me. And unfortunately, that's the only browser that I'm using right now. Have you guys heard of Opera? A friend of mine introduced Opera as a browser to me. And this thing is amazingly super fast. Hang on a second. Where is my community manager? Let me do this. I promise you I'm almost done, okay? I just want to look at, oh, please work. I'm begging you to work. It's so weird, guys. I'm not able to see my stream at all. So please do not spam the community. Purple or Anna, if you guys are still here, please do keep an eye out for that. Kaio, Chow. I'm sorry, Chow. I think I saw some messages from you, but I haven't had a chance to look through that yet. I applied for another position that I consider a fit my profile during the interview process. Could this affect my result? Yes. If you are already in the interview process, you don't go apply for other position. You have to wait until the result comes out because the bar at Amazon and all these companies are still the same, right? They evaluate you for your culture fit and also your core competency. They will tell you based on feedback if you're good fit for other roles. So do not apply to other position. Huh. That is very weird. Okay, my browser's not working. That is okay. I'm just going to go ahead and shut that off. Alrighty then. When all things fall apart, you can always rely on your iMac. I'm just saying. Motassim, how are you? Najit says, I also wonder if we can meet on Skype and have a kind of mock interview. This would help me so much. I don't know about mock interviewed with Amazonian that's already on here, but you guys do what you need to do. I'm not going to tell you guys what to do, okay? But the VIP coaching is to help you with that, and the members do come off. What am I saying? The members do get together For example, my TPM, my engineering managers and my engineers do get together for the tech side as well, even though we do go over that in the mock interview, because I have director of engineering leaders in my VIP coaching as well. And which is this right here if you're interested. Okay. So weird. I can't even fix that. Alrighty. Ankur, you're repeating yourself many, many times and you are now being ignored, my friend. Okay. Motassim says, I have an upcoming phone interview for position of IT project engineer. Kindly advise what questions should I prepare. You should take a look at my Amazon Leadership Principles playlist. There's 2 playlists. One of them has questions and answer. That's exactly what you should be doing. Okay? Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan says, that's right. I can't give 2 weeks notice yet since H-1B transfer takes about 2 months. That is correct. And even so, with H-1B transfer, it gets really tricky. You don't really know if you are going to get approved or the process is completed within 2 months. Okay? Prakesh. Hello, Prakesh. Prakesh says, my bar racer interviewed. I can't even pin this. This is why I don't. This is really odd, guys. I don't know. Maybe it's an energy thing that's going on that none of my technology works. I just don't understand how I'm live streaming if nothing else works. You guys are tech people here, right? Tell me how I'm live streaming when all of my web browser is down and my camera is not even functioning. My webcam doesn't even link to my computer. That is odd. Okay, my bar racer interview and quickly. Interview said I collected all my data points. What that could mean. Well, when you say quickly, what are we talking about? How long was your interview? Can you please be a little bit more specific, my friend? Aaron, Aaron, I think you asked the same questions before about asking for accommodation for ADHD. Guys, please do not spam the community. You see what I mean by people don't listen? Stop spamming the community. I promise you, I will answer all of your questions before this is over. Do not spam the community. You see, guys? You see where I'm coming from? Alrighty. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for not spamming the community. My therapist said ask for more time answering questions and more breaks during the loop. Then you should, okay? Then you should, but you have to let them know in advance so they don't think that you don't know the answer, okay? Ankur, when I am done with this, my friend, I have to remove all of your comment because you are spamming my community. Guys, you gotta listen. If you don't listen, there's nothing that I can support you with. And if you act this way in your interview, you are not gonna make it through the loop. Okay? That is as raw and authentic as I can give you. You gotta know how to listen, people. Thank you for helping me. Ciao. What accommodation? Yep, I have answered that, and that is your 3rd time asking. Goodness, people. Maybe it's a Tuesday thing. Maybe you guys are still thinking about the Labor Day weekend. That's probably what this is about. Bear the Quanker, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm just happy to see you. Please come back anytime that you want, and you're working right now at your new job, okay? Come back anytime you want. Happy to see you back. You guys, I want you to treat the community like part of your family, which is you don't spam your family, right? This is a professional premium coaching that is live, practically free as a paid member. So please do take that as a grain of salt, and do notice that there's a lot of Amazonian watching you right now. Yes, they are. Let me tell you why. Because the senior VP, the SVP of Alexa Devices, who is now the founder of the Basil Academy, are also watching me. I know, because we communicated via LinkedIn, okay? There's a lot of executive who's eyeballing on you, all right? Especially when you have your first name on here and they recognize you. I mean, the words do go around. You don't want to be that person when the leadership says, yes, I remember, or Amazonians. There's a lot of Amazonian in here for those who accepted a job offer. Yes, people, They work their tail off to land a job on Amazon. So, and of course, they're paying attention in the way you behave. Am I right or am I right? Okay? So, please do come as one. Okay? Tanya, lovely to see you. Kathy, good to see you as well. Chow says, I applied for another position that I consider fit my profile doing the interview. Could this of yes, it does. It does. You just don't apply for a job when you guys are interviewing, okay? And if I don't get to your questions enough, that is because I'm going in that order, okay? And I at this point I don't even know if this is if member mode is on because I have no access to any of my browser to even fix that on my streaming software. I ask that you be patient and give everybody respect and wait for your turn. Yes, we are all adults here. And yes, I'm talking this way with my community member. I still heart you all, okay? Yes, thank you for being here. RS, I agree with Holly. Rajdeep, hello, Rajdeep. Is that the little guy that you've been watching to play cricket every Wednesday? I have my first interview next Monday. Good for you, Erin. All right, Nicholas, question. Thank you so much, guys, for listening and putting the giant Q in front of your question because that really does help me get to the point a lot faster. Nicholas says, I have a loop interview on Friday. Does the interviewer typically reach out with the names of individuals who will be interviewing you so you can review the LinkedIn profile? No, they don't. In fact, they don't want you to connect with them on LinkedIn. It's awkward. What if you don't make it through the interview loop? What if you're not good? I'm just being very honest here. What if you're not a good interviewer and they don't want to stay in touch with you and they feel like they're obligated because now you've reached out to them? Worst case scenario, this is the number one biggest mistake on connecting with people before they interview is during the interview, you just wasted 15 minutes of your time talking about common connection. Yeah, we both know this person, that person. We both came from the same school. They don't care about that. All they care is can you answer their questions intelligently with an example, a specific example to tie through for the role. Okay? Ooh, I love these questions. All right. Keep them coming, Nicholas. And what does Anna mean by exercise? That means rehearsing, practicing your stories. Ashwin. Hello, Ashwin. That is an excellent LinkedIn profile photo, Ashwin, if that is your profile picture. I did an assessment almost a week ago. When should I expect a response outcome for that? It took 3 weeks before I received the assessment after the second interview. Amazon is just a little bit slower than normal because, as you can imagine, they are hiring like crazy and will never stop hiring. Which is why when you guys are not ready for your interview, don't feel like the job is going to go away. There's plenty of love for you. Okay? That's a lot of position for you. If you have the recruiter contact, Ashwin, I would reach out to follow up. If not, I would just have a little bit patient. Okay? It does take a long time for them to get back to you because you may sit there, you're literally sitting there waiting for Amazon to reach out to you for the next step. But the person who's reviewing your assessment, aka the recruiter, is probably reviewing about hundreds of them. So it's going to take them some time to come back to you. I'm just totally making that up. I'm pretty sure this person have a team of people to review every single person who takes the assessment, right? Because Amazon is very good in scaling, and I think they are trying to figure out how to scale and keep up with the candidates pipeline. Candidates, but doesn't make sense. Keeping up with the pipeline. Okay? All righty. DAMT, your first time here. Well, hello, and welcome to the community. How many phone interview to expect for sales team lead position in Mexico? I have no idea, but if you are an excellent candidate, 1 phone screen is enough. 2 phone screen is not bad. They just wanted more information. 3, if you guys ever have 3 phone screen, that's telling you that you haven't answered their question, but they're not ready to decline you yet because they saw something very good in your answer or your background. Okay. So how many phone screen is not relevant. Usually is one or two, depending on how good your answers are. uh, Najat says, what's your opinion on applying to as many positions as we can possibly relate to? Do you think it will improve our chances? Hell no. And no, no, no. Every time when you apply for a position, put yourself as a hiring manager. What would be your reaction if someone applied for 10 position, 50 position, 300%? That's true story, guys. There's so many people that apply to 50 plus jobs where as a recruiter or the hiring manager, they wouldn't even look at your candidacy because it's showing that this person don't know what they're doing and why are they applying for the same position title. If you are good, your credential would hit a lot of the buzzword or keyword where they will leverage you. Recruiters don't look at every single applicant. You need to understand that. When you apply for a job, you can simply just apply for 3 jobs, same position, no more than that. I repeat, no more than 3 different jobs. Because when you do that, your resume is already in the system. In fact, you can just apply for 1 job, okay? If you hit the buzzword of the skill set or the core competency that the recruiter or hiring team is looking for, they will be reaching out to you. So that's telling me that if you don't have any luck in landing interview, that means you need to fix your branding. Jose. Najit, the assessment is testing to see if you are a cultural fit or if you meet the basic foundation for the role. Okay. The assessment is not the same for all the different org and role. Okay. It is not the same. I can tell you that. The assessments for engineer, for tech, non tech, for operation, for example, is very, very different. For example, if you're an ops or a program manager in ops or supply chain, anything with operation, fulfillment, FC, there's a math portion in it, right? Someone says math. Exactly. If you're in customer service, for example, or program manager, there won't be a math test. They'll be focusing more on culture fit, on how you handle situation. That's actually a very smart thing to take the assessment so they can hire the right mindset, culture fit individuals for Amazon. I think it's an excellent idea to send out assessment tests. RS is new. Welcome to the community, RS. Tatiana. As not English speaker, you think is it okay to take more than 1 minute to tell my stories? Yes, yes, yes. Maybe 1.5 to 2 minutes. Well, here's the thing, Tatiana. I mentioned earlier that 90% of my VIP coaching cohort is diverse, meaning that they speak multiple languages, including myself. Okay. It's not about needing more time, needing less time. What I would recommend you is basically say, do you mind if I write down the questions as I put my thoughts together? And you have about 10 seconds to put your thoughts together in your answer. The whole point of framing your answer around the STAR method is to be concise, short to the point, where you don't have to talk to 2 minutes. I can tell you guys this right now. You can talk up to 1 minute, but you really don't need to. If you talk more than 1 minute, most likely, unless your example is amazingly good, you will lose the interviewer. Okay? Try it out. You don't have to believe what I'm saying. Test it out and hear yourself. If you talk for a couple of minutes and I would highly encourage you to leverage your friends or someone that is in the industry so they can evaluate you, preferably someone that's a level higher than you, to hear you or you can play around with for mock interview. That's just a free version, right? And you can test it out. You don't have to be a perfect English speaking person to speak less than a minute. Okay. I've had a lot of folks. In fact, right now, currently, just an example, I have members in Canada, in Singapore, in London, in Germany, in India. You see where I'm going? I can go on in China. I can go on and on and on. All right. Don't feel that you're not a good English speaker and you need longer time. Do not have that mindset in you. I would focus rather than increasing the time of answering your questions. I would increase the link for you to prep for the interview. Does that make sense? Spend more time in prepping. Spend less time in answering your question. Hello, Cameron. You have an L4 interview tomorrow. You passed the math already. Which LP should I watch out for? Which is all of the above? If you want to get a job at Amazon, you need to know all the leadership principle, 16 of them. Don't spend all your effort on just the LP, but focus on the question that's already on the template that I've made for you, okay? There's two playlists. If you click on everything that has the word Amazon on it, you just cannot go wrong. You can't go wrong. RS, who is new? What does it mean to be a role fit but missing some things? Recruiter asked to continue interviewing for other roles, resume recycle. This was the feedback post phone interviewed. That means that you probably answered his or her question very, very well, but your experiences may not be relevant. You may have the experience, it may not be a good fit because of the way you deliver your message. Okay? You see what I mean? A lot of people struggle the same thing. It's being able to communicate very clearly what they have done. Okay? Recycle only means that you need to find the right role, but in all honesty, you need to look and evaluate your own resume and see how you are a good fit. I would focus on that instead. Jose says, Holly, you recommend 20 story even for the initial interview with the manager. Yes, I do. And let me explain, Jose. If you don't have at least 20 stories with the managers, you don't know what kind of questions the manager will be asking you. So you need to be ready. Either way, if you impress the manager, the next step is it's the full loop or the next phone interviewed. You will need to be prepared anyhow. You have to be interview ready before you start applying to jobs or taking interviewed. I repeat, you need to be interview ready way before you take interviews. By the time you take an interview, it will be too late for you to start prepping. Okay? I have not met anyone or helped anyone who able to get a job on Amazon that prep less than 3 months. No one. They're all Amazonians right now. Okay? No one. It takes a couple of months. That's why when you already are starting the initial process, it's still going to take you some time. All right. The people who are in right here, my VIP cohort, the reason why they're in my cohort is because they just started the, oh my God, it's not even letting me fix it. This is so weird, guys. It is really bugging me. Hang on. It's really bugging me and I don't know how to fix that. Anyhow, that's my VIP coaching cohort. Even so, let's just say they passed the phone interviewed, I will ask them to push the loop a month to a month and a half later. And yes, they will say yes. If they say no, guess what? There's plenty of opportunities for them with other open recs because if you can pass the phone screen, the recruiters will always get back to you for the next step, right? If it's not that recruiter, other recruiter can see the notes in the system. So keep that in mind as you're interviewing with any company, any top player, not just Amazon. Don't be afraid to cancel or push your interview when you're not ready for the full loop. You've got one shot. If you don't make it through the shot, if they have to reevaluate you, the bar is actually higher. It's as if they know that you know what you've done wrong, right? Because no one's giving you the feedback. That is why you want to do the best that you can the first shot around. Righty then. But life, I'm having a hard time coming up with matrix number for my star stories. Do you think I can estimate any advice? Yes. When it comes to matrix and number, you don't have to give specific number. You can do an estimation, right? Earlier on, I give an example how I was able to build a recruiting team to build a strategies in helping Amazon's 14 different business to business organizations launch B2B, which generate 2.1 billion. I say 2.1 billion because that is the actual number of an estimate. By now, it's probably 2.3 or 2.5 billion. You see where I'm going? You can do an estimation, but don't bluff. Don't just make things up to make things up. All right? And guys, please don't repeat your questions. If you do, I'm going to ignore your questions, okay? All right. Anchor, are we on track now? I have more than 50 story spamming through various LP, but I feel most of them and not that strong and deep. If they're not that strong and deep, which is why I don't recommend you to do 50 questions, I recommend 20 so you can have a lot of time to not recycle, to focus on them and make them extremely well. Um I don't have experiences where my matrix are in millions of dollars. Am I worrying too much? Should I show the best stories which are more deep? By the way, if you can please be more specific, what role are you interviewing for, Anchored? Because I can't help you or tell you what to do to highlight the business impact without knowing anything about your background. Okay? Don't make anything up. God, what is going on with you guys? So many of you are repeating your questions so many different times. Okay, Nicholas, Chrome is working. That is weird. I wonder why nothing is working for me. Huh. Tracy, Chrome is fine. Yes. That is, I don't know. I can't even look at my own YouTube on my phone or anywhere. YouTube is down for me completely. Satya, the STAR Interview Accelerator, the digital product, also review the stories and provides feedback. No, it does not, which is why the STAR Interview Accelerator, thank you for asking, Satya, it does not because the price is extremely affordable, okay? It's affordable. It has a bonus portion on the very top. I don't think I have a link for that here. Basically, it's STAR/Accelerator. It's on my business page. Is it here? Oh, this is a start download. Sorry, I don't have my normal setup. But basically, the bonus portion is helping you clarify your resume and your LinkedIn profile tip as a bonus side of things. And then it will show you step by step how to create your story with my STAR template of all the questions that I know the companies like Amazon, a lot of the FAANG companies will be asking you because I've done my research for you. And that's the feedback that a lot of my clients who are at those FAANG companies are sharing with me. That is the same spreadsheet as my VIP coaching, okay? And there's also a lot of example on there for tech and non-tech, individual contributor, and IC as well. So the STAR, let me make this very clear. The STAR Interview Accelerator has helped many people land a job offer. It only works if you don't need hand holding. I repeat, it only works. It's a digital course. Don't say I didn't tell you so. If you are someone who listen very well, read instruction, and don't have a problem motivating yourself, you can get a job by following step by step because many people have done that. The VIP coaching monthly or the 90-day program is a masterclass coaching cohort by me. It's not an online class, okay? That is the one, that's a big difference between the VIP and this. The VIP is the only coaching service I offer right now, and that is reviewing and not reviewing, teaching you how to create your resume, LinkedIn, job search, networking when I feel like you're ready for applying for jobs, right? Also reviewing your stories and showing up to mock interview twice a week, every single week. Okay, so that's a difference between the two. Again, only by the STAR Interview Accelerator because you don't need hand holding. I think that's pretty clear. I'm very transparent. You guys know, not all of you listen. I have to repeat myself for you. And love to see you being so passionate about helping others, Holly. Who's Anne? I landed an offer at Amazon 2 weeks ago and still need to realize it. Thank you so much for all your efforts. You are really amazing. Yay! Thank you coming in and sharing this with me, Anne. I don't know if we're already connected on LinkedIn because I know that is not your real name. Please connect with me on LinkedIn so I can see exactly who I'm talking to. But congratulations on your day one. You should probably watch my Amazon onboarding playlist. There's 3 videos of my first week, first month, and 90 days to help you scale quickly. JSAC0000. I'm 14 months away from completing my MBA. Should I wait until I've completed before applying to the FAANG company to get maximum consideration? To be honest with you, I know nothing about MBA or graduate or new hire. I have never handled that. I've always focused on industry or executive recruiting. I'm pretty sure you can Google it because our friend Google tells you every single thing. But if I were you, if you can apply for it now, I would apply for it and not wait, and not have to wait. If anything, if your background is good, you would hear back from the recruiter, right? There's no, oh, sorry, there's no wrong answer to that. That's just what I would have done. All right. Samuel, I have my loop finished last Friday for a system, finished last Friday on for system engineer. What can I expect a response back from the hiring team or shall I nudge them? Well, usually the rule at Amazon is they have 5 business days after the onsite to get back to you after they debrief. If you don't hear back within a week, I would nudge them. Nudge, nudge it. Am I right in understanding by 20 stories you mean preparing answer for 20 possible interview questions? That's absolutely correct. With those 20 questions that I have on my spreadsheet, I'm asking you to think of 2 examples each. So in theory, you have 40 stories. 40, okay? Just 40. A lot of the questions I have on there, for example, the new Amazon leadership principle for 15 and 16, I created interview questions around that, knowing that it would ask very similar to all the FAANG companies. That way you're not just focusing on Amazon heavy, but if you're able to get a job at Amazon, you will be able to get a job in all the other tech companies because my customer have very common multiple offer with the other players. Good question. You are so right regarding coding. There's no way one can memorize answer. Yeah, you're a tech guy. That's why I made that comment. That's why I don't advise for those who don't know how to code to take a class and pass. No, don't do that. Don't waste your money. If you can't code, you cannot get a job at these FANG company as an engineer. If you have never designed a systems or an architecture, if you don't know what OOA and OOD means, there's no way you could be a TPM at Amazon. No way, because that is part of the interview process. Okay. That's why I focus a lot on behavioral questions. And I have a lot of, as mentioned earlier, senior level to hiring leaders, executive, even in the VIP coaching, where they are coming in and helping me with the tech questions. Okay. And I've shadowed every single interviewer of the group that I support at Amazon. So I know what a good answer is like. Every now and then, I do invite my bar racer friends at Amazon to participate in the VIP coaching. That is a fact. You're looking for it now is more clear. Thank you for telling me. Machine learning architect engineer role. They're all different things. Najid, if I have to ask you, describe your ideal role for me, I want you to describe your ideal role for me right now. See what that sounds like. Because a lot of the time, machine learning architect, just machine learning architect is a level 6 position. Just that. This is someone and it depends. Are we talking about more data driven background? Are we talking about more scientist background? What exactly is more? So, if I were to ask you, what is your ideal role and responsibility? What do you want to do next? How would you answer that, Najit? Prakesh says it was a 1 hour interview. 15 minutes were spent in introduction. Well, usually it's 5 minutes. Or, yeah, usually it's 5 minutes. They shouldn't spend 15 minutes in case they run out of time. 30 minutes LP questions, intro ended there, and last 15 minutes. Well, that's really short. That's really, really short. Well, if you can survive a 30-minute interview, you could either do really, really well. But generally, interviews don't end in 30 minutes where they're probing questions. There should be probing questions, right? So I don't know what else to tell you, Prakesh, because I'm not there at the interview. But typically, the actual interview can last about 45 minutes. It shouldn't be 15 beginning, 15 end. That's a lot of wasted time. Ankur says, ma'am, these questions are 30 minutes back. Yes, Ankur, I appreciate you for being here. You just have to be patient. Be patient, okay? John, hi, Holly. Restart your laptop before any of your live streaming. I know, I was really tempted to, but The clock was hitting, and I was a minute late. I don't want to keep you guys waiting. God knows. What if the stream doesn't even work? So I didn't restart. But what about my mobile phone? I can't even get it on my mobile phone. That was kind of odd. But I will definitely restart after this session. Maria says, nice to see you too. Let's see. What is Maria saying? I haven't heard from Netflix since I sent my application. Any advice? I also found another position at Amazon. How long should I wait for my last fall? If you have had a failed interview or if you apply for a job and you don't hear from an employer, I want you to stop applying to job because you don't want to spam their system and your own profile. I repeat, you do not want to spam your own profile. I want you to reach out to all of the potential hiring manager. It doesn't matter if they have open position. It doesn't matter if that is the hiring manager, but you should learn how to network. Okay. Network would save your life in getting job interview very quickly versus just applying. Okay. Kathy, will they communicate you're not a culture fit? No, they will not tell you that because legally they're not allowed to say you're not a culture fit. That's any company. That's not just Amazon. Richardson, your leadership principle have been extremely helpful. Oh, you accepted a job offer. Great job. Yay. This is the fifth or sixth job offer of the day. Thank you so much for coming in here and sharing your wonderful news. Please, if you have any final tip or what is the ultimate ticker for you that help you get your job, let them know. Oh no, I have an appointment at 2 o'clock and I'm running late. I'm sorry, guys. I have an appointment. I have to go. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys later. Bye.